Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and today I need to talk about an important subject. That is my quest for the evermore obscure. And there's a company that I haven't really talked about before, and part of that is because I have such a hard time ever removing their stuff from the print bed, and I speak no other than of Layer Productions. And their latest, which I saw, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to try to print that. I keep doing this to myself because they have very interesting sculpts, very unique stuff. But as soon as I show it to you, if you look really carefully at the thumbnail, you'll notice that it's just going to be an absolute challenge to get printed. So recently, they've been putting out stuff for the game that they've been making, which you can check out. But I saw they have these new guys called the Nwoda Sky Dwarves, if I can even get it out of my mouth. And they were flying Avatar style, kind of Middle Eastern Babylonian inspired dwarves that are literally hurling through the sky on floating rocks. And yes, I've broken just about every single piece of these things. It is super delicate and it's really hard to get in focus. And I need to clean it still, but it's just like they are really interesting and dynamic sculpts if you can get it off in one piece. And I think the thing is, it requires a lot of patience, which is something that I am usually very much lacking in. So there's a team of 3 of these Sky Dwarves. Let's see if I can get it zoomed in a little bit more here. Making sound effects naturally. We have another one here. Different pose. Just as fun to try to remove. You can see where those supports were attached on the underside of his flowing garments, which I've broken. And this one, you can see here, didn't even print correctly, unfortunately. I just realized that. That's okay. That's on me. So we had 2 of the males, and then we also had a female that is doing some sick maneuvers as she is doing some kind of spin, stop. I'm not even sure what, as she's blasting through the clouds there. Those are supposed to be clouds on the base, in case you're curious. So she's supposed to be doing tricks and popping wheelies on the sides there or something. So, I mean, visually, very distinct with those flowing robes, with the craggly rocks. Just, I think, getting these guys transported anywhere, let alone even up the stairs to go get painted, is going to be a challenge and a half. I would absolutely recommend, if you're going to be transporting stuff like this to actual gaming's events, you're going to need to put some magnets on the bottom. I just grab random bases that they're blue tacked to at the moment, but I think that's the only way it's going to really be possible. Now, another model of theirs that I had to print out, because if you've watched my channel or if you've ever heard me ramble on enough, you know that I'm a sucker for models that have way too many limbs, and this is the Shabawatsu Muser. And I want to say he's got like golden skin or something, but he's got the 4 arms, and again, just really elaborate, dynamic, interesting poses, as he's got this giant ring spinning around him. Again, I do probably need to clean that up a little bit still, but that's okay. These are still in the early stages of getting ready to actually get primed up and usable in a gaming situation. So layer stuff tends to be a little bit more true scale. They are a little on the smaller, delicate side. So with the Reaper and WizKids figure here, you can see he's a little bit taller, but obviously, you know, depending upon what kind of models you're using, that can change quite quickly and quite easily, whether you want it to or not. So, I mean, obviously, if you're going to be using like Kingdom Death stuff, or, you know, I got like a War Games Atlantic guy hanging around here. So, our Shabawatsu guy is a little bit taller than the average human. The dwarves, I mean, they're dwarf size. Let me see if I have any. I got like a Mantic dwarf handy. Since this guy's actually kind of standing up here. Now, obviously, the proportions of our Mantic friend are a little thicker, a little fatter, a little stouter. I mean, it's obvious this is still a dwarf. I think if you used them like with WizKid stuff or with the other layer models, I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. And grabbing some other stuff. I want to say, here, since I've got Mantic handy, and Shield Wolf, I guess. I mean, if you're looking at smaller races, I think that's going to work out pretty well. We've got goblins and halflings in there. Obviously, those dwarves are a little bit older. I should have grabbed some of the more modern resin ones. I don't have them handy. But, you know, one of the nice things about the 3D printing world is that if these look too small, too delicate, you are always able to bump them up in terms of size. I don't know about the pre-supports, but then again, you know what? I've been getting better with my own supporting. Maybe I could handle it and have them come out decently. But if you haven't seen Layer stuff, and if you're a bit more patient than I am with getting things removed, or even just, you know, more basic looking models, they've got a very interesting catalog of models released at this point. They've had quite a few successful Kickstarters. They've got their Patreon. They've done a lot so far, and I got to give them credit with very unique designs. Just for me, it's a bit of a challenge to get them off of the bed in one piece. But as you can see, I am still willing to put in the effort when they've got really neat models like this. So if you haven't had a chance, do take a look. There's some neat stuff there, and hopefully you do a better job of it than me. With that said, though, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.